Hello everyone and happy Wednesday. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, which by the way you definitely should, I am now going to be posting on Wednesdays. It just works better for my schedule, and I'm so sorry that I've been a little distant. In April, I went through a giant reading slump. I didn't read a single book in April, and then I am currently recovering from what I think was COVID. To say the least, it's been a little bit of a rough ride for me in April. That being said though, I'm so happy to be filming for YouTube today. I'm starting to feel a lot better just health-wise. So I am excited to do this little book outlet haul, which I feel like at the beginning of the year I said I wasn't going to buy any books, but hey, my rule is that if I see a lot of books that have been in my cart for a long time, I'm going to place that order. They only carry limited stock in each book. So when out of nowhere I see a lot of books that I want, I have to jump on it, especially just for the price point of them. So it's just one of those days when I was browsing the website and I was like, wait a minute, there's like 4 books here that I want. So, ooh, okay. I personally have never had any big issues with Book Outlet. I have seen videos where people get like damaged books. I might be a little bit wrong on this. I'll put the answer here. I believe Book Outlet, I don't know if this is all their books, that's why I'm like a little hesitant with my answer, but if a bookstore has too many copies or maybe like they didn't sell enough of the books, they will send it to Book Outlet. So I personally have never had any huge issues with Book Outlet. I had one book with a rip in the cover of it, I think it was just a scratch in the cover, which a scratch in the cover doesn't personally bother me. But okay, so starting with the first book, I also realized almost all of these I think are, I have 3 hardcover books, which I feel like clearly I didn't read to see if they were going to be paperbacks or hardcovers. That's totally fine. I actually personally like the way hardcovers look on my bookshelves. I don't love reading hardcover books, but I think they look really cute on the bookshelf, so I'm not complaining. So the first book I have is Business Trip by, who is this by? Jessie Garcia. So I can't remember her full TikTok username right now, so I'll just put it on the screen. Her name's Abby. I have seen her talk about this book for probably a year or a few months at least. And every time she mentions this in one of her TikTok videos, I'm like, I need to get onto this book, but I just like never decided to buy it by itself. So when I saw it on Book Outlet, I was like, I need to buy this book because apparently it's just a really good thriller. I am really excited. I don't know if you all like when I read the descriptions of the book. You know what? I'm going to do that.
It was their chance to get away, not go away forever. Stephanie and Jasmine have nothing and everything in common. The 2 women don't know each other but have boarded the same plane. Stephanie is on a business trip and Jasmine is fleeing an abusive relationship. After a few days, they text their friends the same exact messages about the same man. Soon, the messages become stranger and more erratic. And then the 2 women vanish, the texts go silent, red flags go up, and panic sets in. When Stephanie and Jasmine are each declared missing and in danger, it begs the question, who is Trent McCarthy? What did he do to these women, or what did they do to him? Twist upon twist, layer upon layer, nothing is as it seems. The business trip takes you on a descent into the depths of a mastermind manipulator, but who is playing whom?
It seems like it's going to be one of those books where the whole time you're going to be guessing if like maybe the women are the bad people or the men. Based on the last sentence too, it seems like it's going to be one of those books where you're truly just guessing who the bad person is the whole time, which I love those kind of books and like those kind of movies in general. So I am really excited to dive into this one. Okay, the second book I have so I've had this one on my TBR for quite a bit. Is Happy Place by Emily Henry. So funny enough, when I was at the bookstore recently with a friend, she told me she really didn't like this book. And I feel like Emily Henry, you either love her or hate her kind of thing. I started reading People We Meet on Vacation, I think last summer or the summer before. I think it was last summer though. And I was liking it. I only got up to like page 7. I recently watched the movie and as someone who didn't finish the book, I love the movie. I thought the movie was, I don't know, it was a really good modern rom-com. Did I think it was like the deepest story? No. And I feel like maybe the book was probably better than the movie, but I was just in the mood to watch something fun, something romantic. I was just really in the mood to watch a romantic comedy and I feel like it delivered. So I have looked at Emily Henry books in the past and I feel like I decided that this book would probably be the one that I would like the most. Also, I just think this cover is super cute. I've talked about this before, but I think that this art style works for these kind of books personally, but
Harriet and Wynne have been the perfect couple since they met in college. They go together like salt and pepper, honey and tea, lobster and rolls, except now, for reasons they are still not discussing, they don't. They broke up 5 months ago and still haven't told their best friends, which is how they find themselves sharing a bedroom at the main cottage that has been their friend group's yearly getaway for the last decade. Their annual respite from the world, where for one vibrant, blissful week, they leave behind their daily lives, have copious amounts of cheese, wine, and seafood, and soak up the salty coastal air with the people who understand them most. Only this year, Harriet and Wynne are lying through their teeth while trying not to notice how desperately they still want each other. Because the cottage is for sale, and this is the last week they'll have together in this place. They can't stand to break their friends' hearts, and so they'll play their parts. Harriet will be the driven, surgical resident who never starts a fight, and Wynne will be the laid-back charmer who never lets the cracks show. It's a flawless plan if you look at it from a great distance and through a pair of sunscreen-smeared glasses. After years of being in love, how hard can it be to fake it for 1 week in front of those who know you best?
so I feel like this is just going to be a fun read. I also love any story that's set at a cottage. I love any story that's set kind of like in a coastal atmosphere, like the mention of lobster rolls, like lake, cottage. This is just like all my kind of vibe. So the next book I got is This Summer Will Be Different. I'm collecting Carly Fortune's books, and I rarely see them on BookOutlet. I think I got One Golden Summer in my last BookOutlet order, and then I saw this one. So I'm going to read Every Summer After first, and then One Golden Summer, because I know you're supposed to read those 2 books, and then I want to read this one. And I'm super excited to read this one because it's set in PEI, and PEI is my top place to go next in Canada. I have done lots of the west coast of Canada, but I haven't done much of the east coast. The farthest I've gone is like Quebec City. I haven't done like any of the Maritimes yet, so I really want to go to PEI, and I'm hoping that like maybe next year will be the year I can do it, so I might save this for next year. But
this summer, they'll keep their promise. This summer, they won't give in to temptation. This summer will be different. Lucy is a tourist vacationing at a beach house on Prince Edward Island. Felix is the local who shows her a very good time. The only problem, Lucy doesn't know he is her best friend's younger brother. Lucy and Felix's chemistry is unreal, but the list of reasons why they need to stay away from each other is long, and they vow to never repeat that electric night. It's easier said than done. Each year, Lucy escapes to PEI for a big breath of coastal air, fresh oysters, and crisp vino veiled with her best friend, Bridget. Every visit begins with a long walk on the beach beneath soaring red cliffs and a golden sun. In every visit, Lucy promises herself she won't wind up in Felix's bed again. If Lucy can't help being drawn to Felix, at least she's always kept her heart out of it. When Bridget suddenly flees to Toronto a week before her wedding, Lucy drops everything to follow her to the island. Her mission is to help Bridget through her crisis and resist the one man she's never been able to. But Felix's sparkling eyes and flirty quips have been replaced with something new, and Lucy's beginning to wonder just how safe her heart truly is.
I feel like Carly Fortune's books just feel like the perfect summertime read, so I'm really excited to dive into Every Summer After and One Golden Summer and just continue reading all of Carly Fortune's books because I personally loved Meet Me at the Lake, and it's been a while since I've read that book. Okay, and then the last book I got has been added to my TBR somewhat recently, but I had to go for it. So I did get 200 Monas. This book seems like it's going to be a very interesting read, and I'm very excited. I actually might read this book first because I think after being in a reading slump for a month, I feel like me going back to the books that I was trying to read might not be the move. I think I need to start completely fresh and just choose a book that I haven't touched yet. So I think I might read this one as my physical copy book.
Arvie Keening has 48 hours to sell her dead mother's surprise stash of rare pills or suffer the consequences. Arvie Keening is just trying to get through the week, tantalizingly close to leaving her college years at Westheimer University behind. All she has to do is pass her finals, pack up her life, and ship off to San Francisco for a prestigious big pharma internship. The problem? Arvie just found 200 hits of Molly in her dead mother's closet, and when 2 drug dealers come to collect what they are owed, they reveal that the pills are not Molly, but Mona, a rare pharmaceutical that induces intense orgasms. The dealers give Arvie an ultimatum: sell 200 Monas in 48 hours or die. To aid in her seemingly impossible quest, Arvie recruits Wolf, Westheimer's resident drug dealer, who also happens to be infuriatingly, charming and distractingly sexy. In a race against the clock, Arvie and Wolf barrel through their college town, leaving a series of erotic shenanigans in their wake, appealing to horny co-eds, lonely barflies, and a mysterious sorority whose sisters have their own ideas for Mona's potential uses. But if Mona has a knack for unleashing visceral reactions in the body, what will it unlock in Arvie, who has been repressing grief over her mother's death for weeks? Unshamingly brash.
So, the lighting, the angle, the sound might be a little bit different because I was just watching back my footage and realized that my mic cut out while I was still talking about this book. So I need to film that again. I remember when I was listening to it back, I was on the word brash. So I was like on the very last little bit about this book. Shamingly brash, bold, and blistering, 200 Monas is a truly one-of-a-kind read, a playful and honest examination of sexuality, grief, and how to release all that's inside you. So, which also means I probably have to film my outro again, but thank you so much for tuning in to this haul, and I'm really excited to be back, and I am just happy to be feeling healthier again and creative again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned because new videos are coming on Wednesdays now. Be prepared for some new content in the coming weeks. So bye everyone.